All right, in case you haven't heard, the US just launched strikes on Iranian nuclear sites. So we are now directly involved in this conflict, which is unfortunate, but here we are. So if you're wondering what you should do right now, I want to give you some words of advice. And of course, first off, don't panic or freak out. This is not the time for that, and you don't need to do that. Here's the things that I would suggest doing in case you're just a little bit concerned about the situation unraveling. First off, yes, it's probably a good idea to go top off your fuel tanks. Fuel could get more expensive and all those things, but that's not necessarily why. The reason why is because this information and this advice is going to get out mainstream here very soon. So if you want to make sure your fuel tanks are topped off, now's the time to do it before everybody else gets the same idea and things get a little bit more tense or a little bit more disruptive in the sense of trying to refuel. Now, after that, what I'm going to suggest to you is to start paying a little bit more attention to what's happening regarding this conflict because it is now directly involving us, which means we have become more of a target than we already were. Now, of course, if you have family that's deployed as service members in other parts of the world, I would definitely be checking in or at least paying attention to their area of operation just to make sure that they're maintaining a level of security and that they're still safe and everything else regarding that because those threats have been made by Iran. And at the same time, if you're just stateside, you should be paying attention to any issues that might arise via cyber attacks or infrastructure issues or anything along those lines, because we know that's all a possibility. And we do know that there is likely to be some sort of retaliation. We just don't know what it will be. So we do need to pay a little bit of extra attention right now. And then the other thing I'm going to suggest to you is spread that information to the people around you who don't pay attention, the people who are a little bit more normal in the sense of how they go through life and their biases related to any of the current situations occurring. You need to make sure that they're well informed and capable of understanding that things are possibly going to get a little bit more difficult or could possibly become a little bit more violent in nature based on this recent action. And that's what I would suggest you do. You don't need to go out and lose your mind. No one should be out panicking or freaking out about this. You definitely don't need to do any of that. I would just, like I said, maybe top off my fuel so I don't have to worry about it in case everybody else suddenly gets the idea. I would make sure that I'm aware of what's happening and paying attention to the situation because it does have the possibility of affecting us directly at some point in time. And I would try to make sure that I expose a few of my family members, acquaintances, or friends to the information so that they can be a little bit more aware as well, just because it could help them if a situation arises, avoid being surprised, right? That's what I would suggest you do right now. Don't lose your mind, but please maintain a level of safety and awareness and understand that this thing could just fizzle out into nothing that crazy, or it could turn into something much worse.